You don't have an intensity problem. Your nervous system just moves fast. Welcome back to season 2 of Go Be Too Much. This season, we're not shrinking, fixing, or filtering. We're expanding. Expanding your voice, your capacity, your nervous system, your ability to hold more without losing yourself in the process. If you ever felt like you were too much, this is where that becomes your power. And hey, this podcast is for you. So if there's something you wanted us to talk about, break it down, or go deeper on, fill out the listener form linked below. This is your space to be unapologetic, unfiltered, unfinished, and unmissable.
Welcome back to season 2 of Go Be Too Much.
We said it would be expansion. We didn't say it'd be less chaos.
Facts. Free.
Or less filtered. So if anything, we're just more and more unfiltered. MJ, your host, was Cassie and Mandy. They're here with me. And today's second episode topic, man.
Shoot that motherfucking shot.
Shoot the shot. And one got married. I'd like to say that Miss Spicy Rice is now Miss Spicy King.
It doesn't have quite the ring. We're going to have to come up with a little ring-a-ding king thing.
But you're a king.
Ring-a-ding king. But you're a king now. We have to ring-a-ding king. Is Miss Ring-a-ding King. I like it.
Spicy Rice graduated to ring-a-ding.
Oh my gosh, it's fucking hilarious. We'll work on that, but for now it works. So, fellow listeners, we want you to go out and shoot your shot. And you might be thinking, but what if something happens? Well, at this point, if you haven't figured out, who fucking cares? And we wanted to start this off with like shooting your shot on really anything, but my story of how I met my husband. This goes also into a little bit of the knowing of just like spiritually, the world just told me that he was the one. But I had posted this video on TikTok and I did not have that many followers. So let's just start off there. I still am not a big deal. And so you know when people like your stuff and you're like, oh, I go through and see who every single person is. And I happened to see his and I was like, ooh. And I clicked on his profile and literally the moment I saw this man's face, I was like, I'm going to marry this man. Like, I don't know why. Anybody who knows me knows that I've never wanted to get fucking married, ever. Absolutely not. I didn't even know what kind of wedding I'd want, which is funny to think about my wedding that we just went to, but which was perfect. I am very grateful and thankful for that. But I saw him and I was like, I'm going to marry that guy. And so I added him as a friend on TikTok. And then I went to work and I was like, I need to message this guy. Well, it turns out I got busy at work, but he messaged me. He accepted my friend request and he messaged me. And we had like a healthy banter for like 10 minutes. And I was like, are you going to give me your number or what? Shoot your shot.
Because
he's like,
hey man, they don't want to give you their fucking Snapchat. Okay? He asked for the number.
Rick doesn't have a Snapchat. I don't have him on Snapchat. I have Snapchat, but he doesn't have it. But I only have girls on my Snapchat, so whatever. But any whoosies. So 10 minutes in, I was like, you gonna give me your number or what? And so then we, over the next 2 days, hashed out like everything. I'm talking about all of life. And 5 days into us knowing each other, this man drives 8 hours after working a 12-hour night shift. And he comes to my house and I run outside and I kiss him and I just was so excited. And he was like, so excited to see me, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, I just got, drove 8 hours. Can I go take a shower? Because I worked a night shift. Like I smell like ass and I just met this girl for the first time. And so he
didn't even take a shower, y'all. He said, zoom, zoom.
He left work and he came straight to see me. And he said while he was taking a shower that the moment I kissed him, I felt like home. And it all is because I shot my shot. And so I'm here to tell you guys, it's been 4.5 years. We just finally got married. I moved to Utah 6 months after meeting this guy. If it didn't fit in a 4x8 trailer, I didn't need it. I sold my house. I quit my job all within like 30 days of making the decision. I told him I wanted to move to Salt Lake. He went and got us an apartment right away. Like he's never second guessed anything. And so shoot your fucking shot. Like you don't know what is going to happen. In hindsight, like that's the best moment for me. So Two shoot the shot, and one got married.
And I love it. And the whole shoot the shot thing, and like, what's the worst gonna happen, right? Like, the answer is always no if you don't do it. And the worst thing that's gonna happen, we said in season 1 once, is like, I'm gonna die. Like, no, you're not gonna die from shooting your shot with something, right? Like, I mean, unless shooting your shot is like jumping out of a plane, and then, just caution. But
With
I
no
did that
parachute.
too,
With
and
no
with no
parachute.
parachute. Okay, I was like, I've jumped out of a plane and been fine.
I know.
But
She's why
really,
we have to
like-
add that disclaimer, because she has.
But really, like, this, it comes down to like the shoot the shot, is like, I'm a sports girl, and I love my baseball, and one of my favorite quotes my whole life that I live by is, never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. And I've always lived by that. Like, I have always taken like a risk, and like, just do it, right? And like, through time, I experienced where I started to dim that down and didn't do that as much, and actually started to try and play the game, like, oh, what should I say? What shouldn't I say? How should I be? What should I be? And you know what? We're out of that. We're out of that era. I think I just posted something on social media the other day that was like, I'm done with that era, and I'm in the like fuck it, do it. So we're
Fuck
shooting
it,
the
send
shots
it.
left and right with all sorts of things in life, and just letting it unfold, because it's going to be a lesson, it's going to be something wonderful, it's for the plot and whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and
the
you never
biggest
know
risk is
what
no.
your life is going to be. Like, I'm here to tell you, like, we've talked about it in season 1, like how I'm from a smaller town, and, opportunities and things are very limited there, but I never planned on leaving. I was like, nope, I'm comfortable here. Like, this is what I want. And you think the moment that I saw this dude on TikTok and was like, I'm going to marry that dude, and he tried. Here's another little blip of it. He's like, yeah, we can move in together in 2 years. And I was like, okay, 2 years, got it. Also, this man, for the 6 months that I lived here, every single month drove to come see me once a month, and we FaceTimed every single day. So I also want to say that whoever you choose to be your partner, if they wanted to, they fucking would. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But I don't think that I would be where I'm at today if I didn't shoot my shot. And it goes beyond like just my relationship with him. Like, I chose to move to Salt Lake, which was the scariest fucking thing, but it wasn't. Like, I just was like, nope, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Me and him break up, I'm already in Salt Lake, we'll figure it the fuck out. And then I quit my job, and he was like, Cassie, quit your job, you freaking hate this job. And I was like, what am I gonna do? He's like, we'll figure it out. I quit my job, I had the best 6 months ever, and then I was like, okay, I should probably get a job, and I started that job, and a month in, I'm like, this job fucking sucks. I should pick a different one. So I did. A month in, I went to that one. I worked at that one for 4 months. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to shoot my shot. And every time I asked for a raise, within 6 months in the same career field, I got a $10 raise because I shot my shot. And I said, you know what? I don't like where I'm at. I'm going to shoot my shot. And, even into here, going into real estate, like shooting my shot, like, you just never know. And just because of one time that you shoot your shot, your life will be on a total different trajectory of where it is right now.
Right. And I actually love that you said the if he wanted to, he would thing, because I, to a degree, absolutely on board with that and believe that. However, the bit of a challenge with that is that sometimes it's like, if he wanted to, he would. If he wanted to, and does he have the capacity? And we say he because we're women, and we're women that like men. So this is the only reason. So if it doesn't apply to you in that sense, flip it to what applies for you.
Flip it to the women, flip it to whoever.
Flip it to what applies to you. Like, it's, if he wanted to, he would. And does he have the capacity? Because sometimes they want to. Sometimes they don't have the capacity to. And that's not a reflection of you and your worth.
Also doesn't mean you need to stay there and wait for them to have that capacity.
No, absolutely not. You have to use your discernment for that. You have to decide to what degree are you engaged or not engaging, or effort given or not given, or those things. And not in a play gamey, this isn't a tit for tat. thingy. Let's quit with the toxicity, people. But it's, can I hold space for myself in this and allow it to unfold? Or do I just walk away from it? Or if they want to and can and have the capacity, like, then they do, right? And so I just wanted to mention that because I think sometimes we get the if he wanted to, he would can become toxic and not realizing that they have to have the capacity to be able to. And some people think that they do. And then back to the whole mirror reflecting thing in the moment, turns out they really don't have that capacity. So,
Yeah, no,
Mandy,
I agree.
she shoot a shot recently and it's popping
Nope.
off.
Nope. No. I'm gonna backtrack a little bit because because of our offline conversations, I in my 20s maybe, yeah, 20s maybe, I shot my shot everywhere that I could, and there were many of times that it played in my favor, sliding into a radio DJ's DMs because his voice was attractive as fuck, and I went and stalked him, and I was like, "Oh, he's kind of pretty too."
There's an echo. Does anybody else hear it?
It's my dog.
Okay, just making sure. Sorry, go ahead.
I just remember in that moment being like, "Oh my God, oh my God, he's talking to me." I listen to this man every morning on my little drive to my miserable job, and I'm listening to him, and he's actually talking to me, and I have his number, and we're texting. And then there was another case, similar situation, whomever I thought was important, and shot my shot in the DMs. It always happens. It goes down in the DMs. I'm pretty sure there's a song for that somewhere out in the 2010s. Because it was absolutely everything was going down in the DMs. And then at one point or another, I don't know, I just, the ick sets in, and I don't do the things. If we want to go deeper, I reflected on my behavior in those moments, and that's not what I want in this lifetime anymore, because that, got the result that I wanted in that moment at that time. But that's not what I desire at this point in time. And so, being more out on the internet, so the algorithms, they be knowing. The algorithms know what we want. You fucking feed it what you want, and it's like, here you go. Mine is mine is full of K-pop, beautiful Asian men, and BL, which for those of you not in that world, that's boy love. Okay, and my variety of boy love would be the heated rivalry on this side, Thai BL on that side. So it is boys making out with boys, and it is beautiful Asian men and bops coming from the K-pop, J-pop, global pop world. So my FYP knows me, and I know it knows me because I have got the fake Korean men back in my DMs, wanting to get
Send them
to
your
know
Cash
me,
App.
offering me to be their sugar baby, and I'm like, and to make a deposit, and then we'll talk. And so I don't necessarily look at it as like shooting my shot at this point in my life, because I'm interacting with content because I want that content back. And so going and, this post happened on my algorithm, and so I was telling Mary, I was like, I'm sure it'll pop up on yours because of the Vegas connection, but going to see BTS in Vegas next month, there was a lady that popped up, and she is so sweet, and she is like, day whatever of trying to find a husband or a wife for my uncle Kevin, I think is his name. And it was adorable. And I'm just like, at best, I'm nosy and I'm curious. Okay. At best. And so like I'm in the comments, and like the aunties are loving him, and they're like, what is his demographic? What's his specifications? Is he into long distance? It's fun. It's fun. I like those stories because I want the follow up. Like I want to know what happens. I want to see, like, I love a love story. I want to see, like, oh, I put this out, and she's like, we're going to be at the BTS concert on this day in this section, and I'm making him friendship bracelets with his name and number on them. I'm like, that is such a good idea. First of all, that is such a good idea, and I want to do it. I want to do it for my concerts moving forward. And then I was just like, well, wait a minute. She's talking about, like, let me go. I just want to go peruse. I'm not going to buy anything. I just want to peruse.
I
And
wasn't
so
gonna do it, girl.
I
I was
wasn't
thinking
going to
about it.
do it. I'm just thinking about it. Not going to do it, but I did it. And I was like, oh shit, he's kind of a vibe. Uncle Kev's kind of a vibe. Damn it. I was like, that was not supposed to happen. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to purchase anything. I am just here to peruse. But he was a whole ass vibe. And again, at best, I think people deserve to know that. And I am okay interacting in those sorts of ways because I think that the internet is a fascinating place that can be used for a lot of good, but it also can be used for a lot of bad. And this man is circulating on TikTok, and there are a lot of women. There are a lot of women that could be coming in hot, saying, doing whatever. And I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening in his DMs. I don't know what's happening on his side of things. But I was there. I was being nosy. So at the bare minimum, I can be kind and be like, you are dope as fuck. Like, I love the vibes. Like, he is traveling. He's a DJ. He's like, so I was like, Uncle Kev got it. And so I shared that feedback in my most professional, non 22-year-old feral Mandy way, sliding into the DMs. I was professional, and he had responded. I was like, oh shit. Oh, wait, because they're not supposed to
What do
respond.
I do?
They're not supposed to respond. I'm just out here like I'm liking comments and I'm reposting, and I'm like, I hope Uncle Kevin finds his wife. Like, I can't wait to see who he gives his bracelets to. Like, I am the spectator over here watching this happen. And then I was like, oh fuck, like this was not supposed to happen. Because now, what do you mean you saw? What do you mean you saw my message? I don't know how I feel about
What do
this.
you mean
But
you're the main character?
You're
and
being
so
seen.
and I hate this whole entire conversation right now, and that it is going to be on the internet one day, because I think I spent all
This is
week.
such growth for you. I'm so proud. Can I just put
spent
that out?
all
I'm
week.
here for it.
I spent all week fucking crying at work in some capacity because people just kept seeing me and just kept saying nice shit to me. And I'm like at my meeting on Friday with our social work team, and they're just saying nice things about me and sharing feedback from people I've never met and people I don't know. And I couldn't even tell you what they do in our district, but they had an opinion about me. And they're like, I'm just sitting here. And I was like, I am so uncomfortable. I'm getting a rash right now. I don't like it. I don't like it. And then, so to like just go on a little adventure, because I'm just like, I'm nosy and I want to see Uncle Kev. I want to know like who I'm rooting for here. And then for him to respond, I was like, oh fuck, I am being seen. Like, ooh, that immediate judgment. I think that fun thing our brains do. I was like, oop, oh God, he saw me. Oop, oh God, I'm too much. Like, oop, I'm doing too much. I need to stay out of his inbox and in my own lane, because I am doing too much. And I was like, Amanda, me talking to me on my little rage walk, like, what are we doing? Like, you wanted to share kindness with someone, you did that. They acknowledged it and they messaged back. Like, what the fuck? It is just an
We love
interaction.
a reciprocity, right? We love it.
We love the reciprocity, because if he has the capacity and he wants to, he would. So the reciprocity, men, I want to men and they, them, she, her, whomever needs this message out there in that moment. If you fucking like someone, you just fucking tell them, and then keep that energy. You have to keep the energy. The reciprocity has to be there. Otherwise, what is the fucking point? But
Can we make it normal to, if you're not into it, just fucking saying it instead of ghosting too?
yes,
Or coming up with excuses, because I'm sorry, in the age of the internet, I can tell if you're online, so don't fucking
I
josh me.
see you.
I see you on your Snapchat saying it was active 5 minutes ago, but you didn't fucking open it.
And
Like,
I'm sorry,
don't
we're
fucking
in our
play me.
goddamn 30s, okay?
We
We're
ain't
in our
got time for
goddamn
that.
30s. Don't fucking lie to me. I ain't got time for that.
I just want you to
We
feed
ain't out
me,
here
touch my
playing
butt.
games. We're just being
Because
real. And the
I
crazy
just,
thing about that, most people we come into contact with are going to take our authenticity and the realness and everything like that. They're going to love it. They're going to be like, yes, this is it. But then they're going to be like, fuck, like shit. Like, wait a minute.
Well, you
What? And then
actually
they're going to think
said that
we're
we had to do
gaming.
that?
And we're not gaming. This is fucking real.
mhm.
So either want real and go with it, or keep your gamey bullshit elsewhere.
Well, and like, I hate gaslighting. Like, my thing is like, I even tell that to, like, not to switch just to work related, but I literally, when my people don't respond to me because we get busy, I totally get it. Probably every like 3 months, I literally send to my prospects, I'll call them, and say, hey, if you don't want me to continue texting you, please let me know so I can stop spamming you because I'm
Yes.
sure it is really annoying. And you want to know what I get back? No, Cassie, we love your update. Sorry we haven't responded, blah, 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 blah. But I at least put it out there that if you want me to quit sending you stuff, like I'm giving you permission, right? And not that we should ever have to give the permission, but like, why can't you just say it? Like, hey, you know what? You are a vibe. I think you're amazing, but I'm not wanting what I think you want. And if that turns into a conversation, cool. If you got to sit with it, great. But like, just fucking say something. Communication is so lost and it irks me so bad.
Well, but I think what you said though is great about, and then because it goes into this go be too much of you feeling the need to communicate, like if you're not wanting this information, right? And like that's a beautiful way to do. But the fact that we even think that we're overextending ourselves, one, because a lot of times we probably have, and we're learning how to like regulate that better. But two, if I want to say the damn thing, who the fuck cares? Like I am a genuinely nice, caring, good person. And if I meet with you and have a chemistry and that is there, and then you go through a situation a few days later, even though we don't know each other well, and I offer help for you or assistance or whatever, like that's just who I am. And I hate that we have come to a place that then we're like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have done that because that's doing too much. And it's like, no, bitch, like that's the fucking game. And I'm not doing that. I'm being me. And if that comes off as like, oh, this person did too, like then that's for somebody else. Like then that's fine. You took it that way. That's more, it's the reflection of that. And so I just think that it is a balance, right? We don't want to overextend. We don't want to do too much in the sense of doing more than where, how do I want to say this? Doing more than where the situation actually is. And again, this is work, relationship, like whatever, like doing more than what it's actually called for. It's doing too much in that sense, not too much in the sense of like true to who you are. And for you, Cassie, it was communicating like, if you don't want all this information be blowing up your phone on this stuff, like just let me know that, right? And for me in my situation is like if I was not good, like, to offer help, like what that was, the feedback was no, it was fine. Like, and it's sad that we need that assurance sometimes, but it's because so much of that is perceived wrong. And us releasing, we don't care about the perception anymore. We're just being ourselves.
Yeah, well, and my thing too is like I'm trying to make space for the people who actually want me, right? And so when it comes to my job, like I talk to hundreds of people, right? And I tell them straight up, like, if I'm not for you, totally cool. I was like, if you want help, I'm here to help and answer all your questions. I was like, I'm super transparent, right? And of course, you get a handful of people that you talk to, but if at any point they decide that, you know what, Cassie's not who we want to move forward with, I'm totally okay with that because I want to stop it now so that way I can give my attention to the people who actually do want to talk to me, right? And so, yes, it is definitely a trauma response, making sure I'm not too much for people, but it's also allowing me to make space for those that actually do want me and do want my time because I do have quite a few clients right now and I'm very grateful and thankful and blessed for that and I want to be able to give them my best self. And so therefore, if somebody is like taking a step back, that's great. I have no problem with that. But I need to know that so I can not give as much because it's too much for you at the moment. So I can go to, pivot, as we say, pivot.
So
So
what you're talking about is pacing. And I find that that's where I am learning a lot still about myself and pacing and knowing that like, slow build up to things or if it's the instant chemistry, like I don't really care which way or the other. Like I can either be the slow build up or an instant chemistry. Like I'm okay with it unfolding and allowing it to unfold to whatever it may be as long as I know the tone, the pace. And so when that pace changes, then that's where we start to be like, okay, wait. So what again are we doing? What again is happening? Right? And it's not because it's like that I'm just after fun or that I'm just after a relationship or, I mean, everybody, I don't care for people who are like, oh, I'm just in it for fun and no relationship. Like we're all in it for a relationship at some point. Like, you might be okay with it being that for a while, but eventually that shifts. We all know it. Just be honest with yourselves. But letting it unfold and going at whatever pace, sure. But when that pace has the dips and the drops and the like, then it's like, wait, that's where that confusion of like, so wait a minute, huh? And that's the part that I think regulating your nervous system and turning into you when that pace starts to get confusing is the key. Is turning back, okay, so I like can't control exterior things, I can control interior things. I need to, like Mandy said, you sit back and evaluate what am I willing to have capacity for in this moment.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Mandy's deep in thought at this moment in
I know.
time. She's brewing in there, everybody.
It really is over there.
But what I was thinking about too, in a sense of capacity, is okay, so I met this guy on TikTok. I moved to Salt Lake, and now it's supposed to be all unicorns and glitter, right? But what I didn't know is how much I would fucking cry because he had capacity to help me, and how, you know, I was so used to certain things happening that I was afraid to do something. Like I was afraid to do something, spend money, whatever. And he'd just look at me and be like, "Why are you why are you crying? Like I didn't yell at you." I'm like, "I know." He's like, "I didn't hit you." I was like, "I know." Like he didn't do anything, but like I was so used to all the old patterns. And something that I've had to work on too is when you shoot your shot in whatever it may be, understanding that it you have to create capacity to do things too. And one of those things is swallow my pride, but like when I ask Rick to hold me accountable on things and then I don't do what I say I was going to do and he calls me out on it and I'm like, "Why are you being such a dick?" And he's like, "I'm not. Like you literally asked me to do this for you." But I'm just like, "No, you're being rude as shit. I don't like this." And he's like, "But I'm not." Like, "Cassie, I love you with all of my being and I can make you my cute little baby." But he's like, "You asked me to be this person to hold you accountable for doing this action and you didn't do it. And so now you're pissed at the consequences of your action." And I'm like, so like understanding that you have to have capacity for the things you ask for. Like you shoot your shot, just know that there are going to be moments of growth throughout the whole thing too, right? Like we want the unicorns and glitter, but you also got to swallow your ego sometimes because when you ask for things and they happen, but not how you want it to happen, you have to be like, "Okay, let's take a step back."
And you can either sit in that in negativity, right? And it's not to say that maybe it doesn't hurt or maybe that it doesn't suck or that you have to recognize like what is that that's actually bothering me. So like for me a lot of times when that pace changes, it's not about the person. Like I mean, unless it's been like we've been talking for like a significant period of time, then it's about the person. But if it's like a nuance, a new thing, like it's not about the person, it's more about me. And that what I loved was that aliveness that came about, right? And I I love my life. I am thriving, I am whimsy, I am happy, I'm doing things, I'm pouring the self-love into me, right? And there is a part though that still is not there, and that involves having another individual. And so that part of me that can come alive with other people of the flirty and the playful and the fun. Like, so when I get that, if the pace shifts up, it's me having to sit with that. I was just enjoying that. That felt good to be that because let's face it, I'm a flirt. I love it. I love it. It's so fun, right? And
Who doesn't love doing that? Like
right,
the to feel wanted and needed, I feel like is just a human nature, whether it's platonic or like in love. Like you want to feel needed, you want to feel love, you want to have that healthy banter and like the flirtatiousness and like I don't see anything
right.
wrong with that.
There isn't anything wrong with it, but and so that's where I was coming to with the pace. So if the pace changes up and I notice that, it's not to go into this overthinking, overanalyzing and externally apply the pressure, but going internally and sitting with myself and being like, of course that felt good. Of course it's disappointing that the pace changed up, but let's not read into the pace changing up more than we have to. Again, what capacity now are you going to hold? Am I going to be bummed out that it feels this way? Yeah, I'm going to feel that feeling, but then I'm going to ground it and then I'm going to be okay. And I'm going to learn from it and grow from it. And that's a big difference. That's the growth within me, because before I probably would have just sat in the negativity, would have just sabotaged and been like, well, fuck whatever. Right. Like, or shut down, write it all off, or, like they're just, and it's like, no, I am
Everything
transmuting
we did
that
in our
pain.
20s.
Yeah, I'm transmuting that pain now into things, or I'm transmuting that moment. It's not even pain, just a moment of discomfort, right? Like, oh, this isn't, wait, we're changing it up. Like, okay, we can we can figure that out for us and not necessarily the situation. Um, Mandy, you want to say so much. Are you ready to say any of it?
I feel
No.
like she's
Okay.
just stewing.
Nope, I don't think I have permission to bring up a certain situation. I did not ask about that prior to this, so I am gonna let that ride.
I just see the eyebrows the whole time. I'm like, ooh. For those who are listening and not watching, Mandy has expressive eyebrows.
I do. Mary, what you're bringing up with pacing and like tone, consistency, et cetera, like that's very a neurodivergent thing. I think that's why all of us, like, we can recognize it in a second. Like if you come in hot right now, the topic is relationship focused. So I will stick with that for the time being, because a man's favorite thing to do is come in hot with the motherfucking audacity, and then if you meet them with that audacity, you meet them with your muchness, you meet them with your spiciness, you meet them with your like, I'm good. Like, this is good. Let's go. And then those motherfuckers can't handle it. They can't handle it because you showed up with a capacity. You showed up like, yep, I can do this. And they take that step back. You're immediately like, what was that? What happened? Like, I clocked that immediately.
Did we glitch? Are we
Right.
glitching?
The pace has changed, the tone has changed, and like, excuse me, like, keep that same energy. Mary and I were talking off camera about, you can be spicy, you can be mundane, you can be all of the things, but you need to be consistent. So my brain pattern recognition knows that like this is normal, because the second it's not, especially with a neurospicy girly, okay, we peeped it. We peeped it, whether you were aware of it, self-aware of it, or not. We saw that happen. And
Right.
now our brain is already like, danger. I'm checked the fuck out. Danger. This isn't what I wanted. This isn't what I had signed up for. The piece, Cassie, you talked about like having the capacity. Like, we've requested this, the universe gave it to you. And you're like, the fuck?
I know. I'm just like, this is
I'm
bullshit.
angry. You said everyone wants like rainbows and unicorns and glitter. And I literally wrote down, yeah, glitter is all fine and great until it's in your fucking eyeball and you can't see. I love glitter. I love glitter everywhere. Okay. But they call glitter the herpes of the world because it's everywhere once it's everywhere. So if it's in your eyeball and it's blinding you, you can't fucking see. I don't like glitter in that moment. Okay. So like with glitter comes excitement and joy and happiness, but also blindness, annoyance, and
Well, and when you try
that
to clean it up,
reminder.
you never get
Exactly.
every speck. You never do.
Never.
There's always
Never.
something.
There's always something. So like taking the good with the bad, the mundane with the spicy, but you got to be consistent. That consistency has to happen, or has to like, so when you're shooting your shot with that other human, with a job, adventure, with moving out of state, away from everything that like, you have to be ready. Like, I think a lot of us prepare for like when shit goes bad. And it's like, so we're assuming it's going to go bad and I need to prepare for that. But like, you also need to be prepared for shit to go well. And that's
Yeah.
the regulating your nervous system piece that I am consistently working on. I know we've talked about on this podcast. Like, I'm not used to things being soft or kind or gentle because I don't allow that. I don't allow that in my life because it's so uncomfortable. So when it hits me like a fucking truck, I'm uncomfortable because that's not what I was preparing for. I was preparing for you to be inconsistent. I was preparing for you to prove me right. I was preparing to be upset. And that's not what I was met with. Like, what? What? And now I got to regulate my nervous system in a whole different way. It's not like, oh, I can't go punch someone and feel better. It's like, I have to sit here and be giddy.
Well, and I think that's one of the things too when you're talking about regulating your nervous system is that we always prepare for the worst. And I shouldn't say we as a collective, but whoever is listening that fits into that thing, I would like to say a large portion of society is always like, I'm going to prepare for the worst. And you think about the absolute rock bottom, like if this happens, like this just made me think of it's never happened to me. I don't know if it will happen to me. That's in the universe's hands. But if I ever get into a car accident and drive off a bridge and ended up in the water, and I was like, which window would I crack? So that way, like, why? Why do we think of those things? Like driving over a bridge, like the worst possible thing. Or I go, wow, my windows are down, the sun is shining, I hear the birds, the frickin' music is a vibe. Like, why am I focused on if I go off this bridge and I don't want to die and this is the window I'd crack and I have that tool that they sell you and whatever the case may be, instead of enjoying the actual fucking moment of what a beautiful day this is. Like, and I think that has to talk about regulating our nervous system too, is I feel like we're so programmed to look at the negative that when the positive is happening around us, it kind of just flies by. And I think taking a moment, touching some grass, as Mandy likes to say, and just learning that it's okay. Like enjoy those small moments because those small moments collectively become bigger.
And so that for me is like that pacing you bring it back to, so then you slow it down, and that you the so a little bit of accountability of being a neurospicy girl, and the pacing and noticing those things too, but being able to take a step back to regulate and to not just go to the worst case scenario, and looking at it for the reality of what it is, how many days and this and that, and being able to say like, oh, pacing switched up, but what pace am I actually looking for? What pace am I actually okay with? Things can go wrong, and we can think that that's what's happening, or you can take a step back, you can let it unfold, you can see what else comes of it. I think being able to sit in a moment and just take the moment for what it is a powerful thing, and not just looking at it and hoping or thinking, not hoping for the negative thing to happen, but believing that the negative thing is going to happen. And our trigger response is like that neurospicy and trauma, like, oh, trigger response, like this is what's happening. And so just to immediately go to that negative thought. And I really work to like step back and say, no, you know what? I'm going to pace this out differently. I'm going to pace it out now differently to see what unfolds of it actually, rather than just, yep, this is what it is, and determining that and going to a negative aspect of it. But looking at it more grounded, looking at it more rational versus whether just potential and hope, or nope, negative trauma, like not living, we're having duality, we're not having all or nothing.
So if this is something that a listener is like just contemplating, what is something in your life coaching? Do you have like any tools that would be beneficial for helping with this? Is that to come?
So no, it's to come. I'm working on that actually. So yes, the answer is yes, there is something. Am I prepared to share that and say that statement today? No, I'm not, but yes, I am working on that. And if anything, you can actually apply the pivot to it, right? And what pivot stands for. And I'm not going to share that because I want people to come to the live in June and learn all about it.
I know. I'm so excited. I just wanted to give you a plug to be like, hey, I know we sit here and ramble, but we really do want we do want the audience participation. We do want you guys to give feedback and do all of the things and like learn more. Like I said, this is about expansion and growing you as a person. So I was like, ooh, is there stuff to come? Like, is there going to be some
There
tools and
is
some
stuff to come.
things?
And
So
actually,
see,
you know what?
building the anticipation.
Actually, what I thought about is like, I know I can share what the pivot is. I'm not going to go into explaining it and further applying it like you will get if you attend in the live, along with the possibility of a workbook and things like that. But I've never really broken this down, and it's because I've been creating it as we've been talking about it. But pivot, and we break it into an acronym. And so what I've created from that is we pause, we look at the information being given, and we say, of course I feel this way. Of course this is what's happening. Of course that's what's coming up for me. We validate that. And then the T is we take the next step in what is for us and needs to happen from our need in pacing, in capacity.
Perfect. I just wanted to put it out there that there are tools and things that we can put out there for
Yes.
everybody as well, on top of
And
our Ven sessions.
And I want to tie it back to Mary's love of a sports analogy. You use baseball. My realm of things is basketball. We talk about, take the shot. You got to be prepared to make the shot. But if you think about whoever your favorite basketball player is of all time, Cassie, I think you mentioned this in one of our episodes in first season. We talk about Kobe. He's always in that discussion. We talk about LeBron, always in that discussion. Michael is always in that discussion. Steph Curry is always in that discussion. And if you watch any interview, do any content consumption, anything, like the consistent thing with all of them is they are in the gym taking shots. They are in the gym missing shots. They are in the gym practicing. They are in the gym preparing. They are in the fucking gym doing the things. And so it is a process of like, yeah, I'm going to take my shot, but I'm going to know that I can miss that shot. But I know that I've also taken that same shot 1,000 times, and I am prepared for it. I am prepared to see it go in. I am visualizing it going in. I know it can go in because I know I've made that shot 1,000 times. Or like, I know I kind of struggle with going to the left or whatever. So that's what you practice on. That's where your focus is. So one, every single one of them will say, you've got to be prepared for that moment. You have got to see that shot going in. You have got to visualize it. You have got to know that you're going to make that shot. So you have to go in knowing that you're going to do it. You apply that pivot theory of how you regulate yourself in those moments. Like, could you imagine being this individual with 60, 70,000 fans watching you, waiting on you, anticipating you making that game winning shot? Like, do you understand the mental focus that goes into having to regulate the fuck out of your system in that moment? So your body just does what it knows. Like, I've got to regulate all of this. So my body just knows I pause, I get informed, I shoot. And that's, the information in that situation, who's guarding me? Where are they at? Validate that this is a big moment, but I also know that I am meant for this moment kind of thing. And so find whatever analogy works for you. Find whatever tools are going to be helpful along that journey. But like, if you're going to shoot that shot, you gotta be ready for that shot to go in.
Right.
What if that's a game-winning championship shot? A lot's going to happen. Your life is going to change overnight. And I think we all want the thing, but we don't realize like what's after that thing. And it's like, are you ready for that? Or are you going to crumble because you haven't worked on yourself prior to that moment to be able to hold space for it?
Right.
So,
Are you going to sabotage it because you're giving into triggers and
man, I used to be the queen of
old
sabotaging.
patterns? Are you look at your old patterns, right, of how you would sit in a situation that might be a bit uncomfortable and unsure, right? And so shooting your shot, really, it's back to trusting yourself. It's believing in yourself. It's knowing that you have the capacity for you to hold your space and hold yourself in that space, whatever the outcome may be, and not have an expectation on that outcome, which is kind of a hard thing to do because we all have expectations. But when you release the reins a little bit, which we all three of us have struggled with some control, recovering anxious girlies, we know, right?
Yeah.
But in turn, don't flip to the other side of the coin and then become avoidant. Be you. Be true to that. Shoot the shot. Oh, I didn't hear you.
I know. I wasn't just me yapping. I said, shoot the shot, make the shot. I just want to reiterate to the listener of consistency across the board in anything, right? If you're showing up for yourself consistently, you will recognize inconsistencies right away. If you are prioritizing your needs and regulating your nervous system, you will notice what does not fit for you, whether it's a job, whether it's another human you're trying to date, whether it is a friendship, whether it is anything. Just showing up consistently for yourself and recognizing like the work that you have put in has got you to this point. You are allowed to take up that space. You are worthy and capable of that space, and allowing joy. I know we've hit on that a few times in the past, but I think that is truly the piece that I will own. I struggle with. I have many conversations with people, strangers on the internet. We have 3 new followers this week of strangers that I met on the internet because of K-pop, and they're older women and they feel like they are doing too much. They literally said, "Am I doing too much, Mandy? Is this too serious? Am I being too crazy?" And I'm like, "Fuck no. Yes. I'm going to stop you and I'm going to redirect you to this podcast episode over here where we talk about that thing, because women specifically, we get so many messages about being too much and like you're doing too much, and it's just like fuck. So those are my experiences this week alone where people are like, "I'm doing too much. This is too much. I shouldn't be doing this." It's like, "No, babe. The alternative is being less fucking fun and less sparkly, and that's just not a world I want to live in."
Right. And I'm glad you brought that up again about like the things that have come into you this week and happened, because Cassie and I actually talked about this as well in a side text conversation that you didn't know about, but just about what were our magnetizing, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but whatever that is, bringing in, and that all of us coming more into that, like we are going to be seen more and we are going to be noticed differently, and things are going to happen. I mean, I yesterday at the farmers market, listening to this lady, she talked about all the candles and all the soaps and all the things, and I got me some hand stuff and some pain stuff and lip stuff, and but by the end of it, she was just like, I complimented her necklace. And by the end of it, she was just like, "Well, what was your name?" And I said, "Mary." And she's like, "Are you a Catholic girly?" And I was like, "I was born and raised a Catholic, me." And I was like, "Sure, why not?" So I high fived her. The lady gave me a free little soap thingy because
Because you're a
that
vibe.
interaction, because there was a vibe, because I was just me and authentic in that moment. And so it's allowing those good moments to happen and good things and seeing the magic and feeling the joy and all of that, and knowing that we are calling that in because it is what we are giving off to other people. And that might make other people uncomfortable. It might make other people unsure. And so anybody that comes into contact with us, again, reflect.
Mm.
Are we doing too much? Are we doing whatever, this, that, and the other, your perception? Or are you capable of receiving that? Are you capable of the capacity for that? Because a lot of times I think that, especially in our world, women are seen as the complicated part, but I think we're a lot simpler and a lot less complicated than men want us to be.
And that is where we end this lovely episode, and we bring that into episode number 3.
Like I'm like, I want to leave that there. You're talking. What did it why did it make me think of shout out to Zach at whatever the hell brunch spot we went to?
Oh yeah.
And so like, because
Brunch
you
me hard.
shot at the restaurant.
and I didn't go.
Man was gorgeous.
I did not even like
You
I
didn't
was
even
not,
bat an eye.
I literally was talking to Cassie. We're having conversation. And I turn around because he's here to take our order and I'm fucking hungry. No words of an order came out of my mouth in that moment.
Other than you're so beautiful, your mom should be happy or something like that.
I said, oh my God, you're so beautiful. I was like, and he was like, I was like, your skin is literally glowing. You are beautiful. And he sat down right next to me.
Sat down.
And he was like, thanks, I got it from my mom. And he's staring in my eyes. I don't think I told you, but like his eyes were looking in my eyes. And I was like, wait a minute, because what do you mean? What do you mean? But that was just that knee jerk. My sass has been paying off. I have just been saying the things I wanted to say. I didn't even fucking skip a beat. And now he probably got 8 numbers that day of every single individual in that sphere of things because he was beautiful. So shout out to Zach. You're beautiful.
And Zach at Brunch Me
Thank
Hard.
you, Mom.
Sundays
Brunch Me
best
Hard.
in Salt Lake City.
Yes.
And I've been doing that, my sass, my unfiltered in my comments on other people's stuff. And man, people like just saying the thing and people have been blowing it up. I'm getting hundreds of likes, more and more on different comments that I'm leaving and dropping. And I feel like it's like, I'm just dropping little pennies. It's just little things, right? And it's because unfiltered, unmissable. We be in all the things. As we said, it's been a good one. We love you. Bye.